the sun refused to shine. Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the sun refused to shine?
The story of Jesus' passion begins on Palm Sunday when he rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. My picture shows Jesus riding on a donkey coming into Jerusalem. People looking happy, and I've made it look like a city because I've drawn big buildings behind it and I've also drawn lots of faces. I coloured the ground in yellow because it's Sunday in Jerusalem. I thought Jesus was nervous because if he made a mistake, everybody was watching. I think Jesus rode a donkey because they were easier to find and also they were a lot stronger. Normal kings would usually ride a horse, but Jesus is a king. I didn't know they doubt him. I didn't know they were excited. I didn't know they didn't. I didn't know they're happy.
What did you draw, Eleanor?
A perfume bottle.
And what's your favourite thing about your drawing?
The sparkles.
And why did you draw your perfume bottle?
Because the lady put the perfume on Jesus' head.
And what do we need to do for Jesus?
Give our best.
Judas kissed Jesus, and Jesus got taken away to prison. Judas got 30 silver coins. Judas felt sad that he betrayed Jesus. That's what I was drawing.
Can you tell me the story about the cockerel?
Okay, so first Jesus got put on a cross and he had a friend called Peter, and 3 people told Peter that, "Are you God's friends?" And he said no 3 times, and then the cockerel crowed.
How do you think Jesus felt when Peter said, "I'm not one of his friends"?
Sad a bit, very a bit.
But only a bit.
This is the Last Supper at Passover before Judas betrays Jesus. Judas is on Jesus' left, looking pretty guilty. You can see all the holiness rays coming from the bread Jesus breaks, and everyone has a glass of wine, but they will all drink from Jesus' wine.
I have drawn a picture of the Last Supper. I have drawn it like this because I like how it is zoomed in on Jesus with the body and blood of Christ. I like that I have done a yellow light round his head as it is a halo and shows that he is God. We still celebrate the Last Supper because it is the beginning of the Eucharist and Communion. Communion reminds us that Jesus' body and blood are what brings us forgiveness for our sins.
Jesus was in the garden praying with his apostles. Jesus got frustrated at his friends because they fell asleep when he asked them to stay awake. When Jesus asked God if he could stay alive, he realized it was God's will that he should die, not his. I've got a picture of someone kissing another person who looks like they're scared, and another picture with bad policemen that are just doing bad things, and another picture which has Jesus been arrested by guards with his disciples in the woods?
I have drawn Peter chopping off the man's ear. I think Peter did it to protect Jesus, but I don't think Jesus really wanted him to.
I put Jesus in the centre and the high priest on a raised up platform. They were questioning and pointing to him. On the other side is the crowd pointing and shouting and looking mad because they didn't like Jesus.
I think Peter denied knowing Jesus because he thought he would get into trouble if he said he knew Jesus.
So how might he feel about that?
He might feel miserable about it.
About the idea of getting into trouble, or about what he did?
About what he did.
And do you sometimes feel miserable about things you've done?
Half the time.
And so what do you do?
I just basically do not ignore it.
Okay.
This is my drawing of Jesus meeting Pilate. I drew a building in the background with people on the balcony to show that the people made the decision to kill Jesus, not Pilate.
I have drawn Barabbas happy, Pilate angry, and Jesus sad.
Why do you think the crowds chose Barabbas?
Because they were following someone.
Have you ever followed somebody's lead and then found yourself making a wrong decision or in trouble?
Yeah. I think Jesus felt like he knew that he wasn't going to be freed. Pontius Pilate really wanted Jesus freed because he knew Jesus hadn't done anything wrong. Pontius Pilate did what he did because if he freed Jesus and not the person the crowd wanted freeing, he would be very unpopular. The crowd was very angry, which is strange because they were praising him on Palm Sunday and now they were turning against him. I have drawn Jesus and some Roman soldiers being mean to him.
How do you think Jesus felt?
I think he felt sad, annoyed and angry because that's how I feel when people are being mean to me, especially if there's no reason.
I drew my image like this because it is showing Jesus has got his crown of thorns and has been whipped as he is bleeding. I think Jesus felt determined but also nervous as he didn't know why this was happening to him. I think the soldiers were making fun of Jesus because they never thought he was their leader and followed Herod, who hated Jesus from the start. I like that he is wearing purple, which is a sign of sorrow, and that he is still their great leader.
I like the part in my picture where Jesus is being helped by Simon because it shows that a little help can go a long way. I think Simon would have been feeling scared and not wanting to help because he was randomly picked and he wouldn't have wanted to drawn attention to himself.
The crucifixion. 3 crosses on top of a hill. Daniel's daddy likes the long shadows cast by the crosses. Daniel likes the trees and the plants. They contrast with the starkness of the rest of the picture. How would Jesus' friends have felt to see him nailed to a cross? Sad, worried, scared. How would his mum have felt? Surely she would have been crying.
My picture is of Jesus on the cross next to the criminals, and I think the soldiers and criminals mocked Jesus because he says he can help other people, but he can't help himself on the cross. And I think that Jesus' friends were upset by this because they felt like their master was doomed and there was no way out of their problem.
When the 6th hour came, there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour. Because of the coronavirus, there have been times when we have not felt Jesus' presence. We have been like the disciples when they weren't able to leave the upper room. There have been dark times for all of us.
I've missed seeing my grandparents and going swimming.
When you are 7, the pandemic has lasted for quite a large proportion of your life. During it, Daniel has missed seeing his friends, missed them a lot. He enjoyed his birthday and enjoyed spending that with family, but he didn't get to see any of his friends.
I missed going to swimming and gymnastics and my friends there.
I have missed seeing my friends and going to swimming as I really enjoy it.
I have missed horse riding, going to parties and having sleepovers during lockdown.
I'm sad that I missed my last year of Peg Leg because I haven't shown my Peg friends my new scooter and I would like to see them again.
I have missed seeing all my friends and not being able to go to school.
How did you feel when you couldn't see your friends during coronavirus?
Happy and sad.
Oh, tell me the happy bits and the sad bits.
The happy bit is so if I don't go to school I can have lots of playtime.
Okay.
Like the holidays and the sad bit that I don't see my friends. I have missed stuff like Disneyland, Legoland, pantomime, theatre and lots of stuff like that, like the fairground and places that it'll have lots of fun.
I've missed my friends.
I have missed going on Student Cross.
I have missed going to pubs and restaurants for meals. I have missed meeting up with friends and family. And I have missed going to the cinema.
What I've missed most about lockdown is seeing my friends in big herds.
The things I've missed most about coronavirus and lockdown is not being able to have a swimming party and also not being able to see my friends and also not being able to carry the cross.
I missed Auntie Lady and Uncle Ben. I draw a picture of Jesus lying in a cross with his arms stretched out wide. And he loves us so much.
Jesus said, "I'm the light of the world." So long as we believe, Jesus lives in us, and so we can shine for others.
Daniel's done some things to make other people happy during lockdown. he's done drawings that have been shared with family and friends and have shown them the amazing progress he's made. And he's done some baking, taking it round to a friend's house to share in their garden.
And I have also helped my friends with schoolwork.
When I've been a light to people when in honours meeting, I made a presentation to all my class while being a little nervous about ways to cope with lockdown.
I wrote my nanny a letter because I haven't seen her for a long time.
I have been asking people to put food at my front door so I can give it to the Windsor Food Share.
I let my friend play with me when she was feeling left out.
There is a child in my school who has learning difficulties, and somebody was questioning them, asking why they weren't in their lessons as a form group, and I tried to stop him asking those questions, as he was not being very nice.
I helped guide my friend in English.
An act of kindness that I have done is when I finished my homeschooling, I helped my sisters when they got stuck.
I have been kind by letting people play my games if they are alone because their friends were not key workers. I delivered birthday presents to friends in the first lockdown on birthdays.
During lockdown, I've been helping a little girl across my street so she doesn't feel lonely, and I've also been helping people with their work in school.
Sometimes I let my toys in my baby sister.
Longing for light, we wait in darkness. Longing for truth, we turn to you. Make us your own.